Is it possible not to be ignorant? Is it possible not to be ignorant about some subjects in the world? Is it possible that you can know a little bit about everything? What do you think? I think it is possible. I think it's possible to know a little bit about everything. I think it's possible not to be ignorant about so many things. You don't have to know a lot, you just have to know a little. And that takes me straight into what I want to share with you today. That there is a curse of ignorance upon humans today. And that's because we do not take time to be aware, to learn, to study. So how can you avoid being ignorant? Let's first of all start with the dictionary meaning of ignorance. And I got this from Google. It means lacking in knowledge or awareness, lacking in knowledge or awareness in general, lacking in knowledge or awareness in general, uneducated or unsophisticated. A second meaning is to be discourteous or rude. Well, that's when we say, oh, he's just an ignorant person or she's just ignorant. Instead of getting upset, oh, that person is rude or discourteous because they're ignorant. But did you see that lacking knowledge or awareness in general, not in particular, but in general? That's what I meant by it is possible not to be ignorant about everything because you can just know a little bit about it, not in depth. If that is not your expertise, that's not what you study, that's not what you're interested in, but it's just know a little. So this is how to avoid being ignorant, by knowing, taking time to know just a little of whatever it is, not taking your eyes, your heart, your mind away from somebody. Maybe you're not interested in IT and you see somebody tinkling with something and they fix it. And you go, oh gosh, that was great. And you don't ask, how did you fix it? How to avoid being ignorant is to ask those little questions to get that little bit of information. All right. And so let's now look at the etymology of the word ignorant. It started being used in the 14th century. And the Latin, it came from a Latin word and mid-English word. Ignorare is the Latin, and ignore is the mid-English. Now, ignorare means not knowing. In Latin, it means not knowing. And the etymology dictionary, etymonline.org, gave me a meaning. It says it means to be ignorant means to be lacking wisdom or knowledge. In this case, not just knowledge, but wisdom. So you need by all means to avoid being ignorant because you will be lacking in wisdom. It also means to be unaware. We've talked about lacking awareness. Another Latin word is ignorantem, which means not knowing. Not knowing. Something happens on your laptop, you could easily think you don't know, not knowing, because you didn't ask your friend who always fixed it for you. That simple question, he fixed it in less than 2 minutes and you didn't know what to press because you did not ask. I'm taking you somewhere. Ignorare is another Latin word, means not to know, to be unacquainted. It means to make a mistake, be misunderstood, take no notice of, pay no attention to. Wow. Wow. There are many people who do not pay attention. And do you know why this is important? Where I'm taking you to. Ignorare, not to know, to be unacquainted. Mistake, misunderstood, take no notice of, pay no attention to. When you do that in your life, then you limit what you can think on. And therefore, you limit how developing great character. The principle is, for as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So you are what you think, not what you eat. It's a law. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Now, since we know that you can only think on what you know, the way to avoid being ignorant is to want to know. don't be in the not to know camp. Be in the want to know camp. Be in the should know camp. Don't be in the unacquainted camp. To be unacquainted camp. Be in the I want to be acquainted with this bit of knowledge. So let me tell you how powerful not being ignorant is. Being aware, being acquainted with. What are those other words? To not to be connected with the wisdom, to know, not to lack in wisdom and knowledge. I'll share a short story happened to me a few days ago. So I live in Nigeria and we have different forms of getting electrical power into our homes. So we have a generator, a solar system, and batteries. So as some of you will understand how it all works, but I went to switch on the generator to pump up the battery. You know, I don't need the generator all the time, which I had used earlier that day, and it just refused to switch on. So it was about 12 noon. So I called the guys that fix it, and they said they cannot come till tomorrow, the next day in the morning. So I said, okay, that means we may not have power from sometime in the middle of the night. Because if I don't charge the batteries up now in the night, when they've gone down, because the solar charges the batteries, and then after a while, the solar sun goes down, and then I need to charge it up with the generator. So about 3 a.m., the power went off in the middle of the night. About 10 minutes to 8, I called. I said, please let me know when you're coming. And so I was a bit tired because I was a bit unwell the day before. So I felt, well, you can't go back to sleep till they come. You've got to open the door. You've got to attend to them. My battery, the battery on my phone was going down. I had to rig up the house because I needed to connect the fridges and the freezer so that things don't get spoiled. So when I called at 10 minutes to 8, he said the person will be there in an hour and a half, 90 minutes. That person did not arrive for 2 hours and 20 minutes. And I sat there stuck there. I couldn't go up. I couldn't go to sleep. I was a bit tired. Phone battery was going down. I had to be aware. I had to rig up the whole house, pull extension cords. I mean, I was doing so much work and I was still tired. When he came, do you know how long it took him to fix it? Less than 2 minutes. Yes, I just said less than 2 minutes. So we didn't have power for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for 7 hours because I was ignorant, because I was unacquainted with how the generator works electrically. So I went up to him, I said, he put it on, it switched on. I said, wait a minute, what did you do in less than 2 minutes? That's how to avoid being ignorant. Otherwise, you will put yourself under the curse of ignorance. And it's not really a curse. It's just you that's decided not to ask questions. So I asked him, what did you do? He showed me one little thing. He said, when the generator goes on, off, goes on, it shakes a bit. And this thing becomes loose over a period of months. So all you have to do is to push it in. Oh my goodness, I was like, that was a huge lesson for me. I hope it's a huge lesson for you too. Just ask little questions. If you see it takes somebody a short time to do something, ask, what did you do? Refuse to be ignorant, because now I am not lacking in that wisdom. I am not lacking in that knowledge. I am acquainted with that part of the generator. I know what to do. So just asking questions. You don't have to know how it works, you don't have to know all the deep things an engineer knows about a generator, but simple things. Refuse to be ignorant. I hope this serves you.